Evening everyone, and welcome to Rainamo's DIY and Designs. And today we're going to be doing a collaboration that Sharon, she's so fabulous, thought of, which is to do an abstract art, and then we'll go from channel to channel and do a gallery viewing of all the artwork that was created. So today I'll be painting on this canvas, and my train of thought obviously is my wedding. I am not an artist, but I'm using baby girl's easel to help me do this particular tutorial, and she also is doing the collaboration, so please make sure that you stop by her channel and just take a look at her artwork. So like I mentioned, this particular video is about abstract art, so if it's not something that interests you, it's okay, you don't have to watch, but I would hope that you would, because then this way you would get to see a little bit of the thoughts that are going on in my mind, and you'll see me calmly put it onto canvas, my interpretation. But keep in mind that it is abstract art, okay? So it's just painting however you feel. So I'm going to be using these colors of paint, probably not all of them, but I'm going to do the absolute best I can with what it is that I have. And so with that said, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use a foam brush, which if you've been a subscriber to the channel, you'll know I use foam brushes quite often. But the reason I'm using this particular brush is the cranberry-ish color that I'll be using came out of the tube very thick as opposed to the other ones. So I just kind of needed to thin it down a little bit, and so that's why I'm going to use this. And the reason that I am starting with this cranberry color is because in the scope of the wedding, with the colors that I have, it will be the cranberry color that will be like the most pop of color, because the blush and the champagne and the winter white are very calm, neutral colors. So this being the start, I'm just starting to paint and I think I like that. It's quite different. Let's see. I think I want to start with the circle. I like roundness. It could partially be because I'm round, although I'm working on that. And you know, something that I'm noticing with this particular paint, since it is thicker, it actually gives me a little bit of texture. I'm going to be going over this particular painting with some of the items, obviously, that I'm going to be using in the wedding to build on texture. But I do like how this paint actually being thicker gives it texture. So I'm just going to leave that there, and I think I'm going to do a little bit more of the cranberry, and then I'll come back with the next color. The color I'm going to add obviously is going to be blush, and I couldn't find a true blush, so what I'm doing is I'm using this pinky color that I've used before in one of my sign tutorials. And I'm gonna add one of these metallics that we have over here to kind of help lighten it up. And I think I'm gonna try a little bit of pearl white. And I'm gonna put a little bit of the taupe color in it, which is, it's a silvery gold color, even though it's called taupe. It's pretty. I'm just going to kind of mix those up and see what I come up with. So now I'm going to go in with a blushy tone. cuidado. Okay, that was a mess up, but like I said, it is abstract art. I like this particular color. Not just because of the softness, but I've always been a pinky girl, and that just is in my blood because my grandmother loved a pink. She kept me and my sister in pink dresses because she loved to sew. So that's just kind of in my DNA to have pink or a blush in something that would be extremely important to me. So next I'm gonna go in with a gold color because you know the darker shade tone of a champagne would be a nice gold. So I'm gonna use a little bit of gold. And you know what? I think I'm gonna actually use a detail brush to do that with. Just do some squiggles here and there. Like it's gilded. And I love the glistening in this particular gold paint. I just love gold. I mean, what woman doesn't? Whether it's a yellow gold or if it's a white gold. Who doesn't love gold, you know? Pretty. Okay, I think that's enough of this color. Okay, so I'm gonna dip back into this blushy color that I made that was a little bit darker than the one on the edges here. And I'm gonna kind of go in to the center with a whiter brush and see what happens. just following along the gold. And trying to stay out of that cranberry, which is very, very pretty. Very, very pretty to me. Oh, this is pretty. I'm going in circles because I'm a round kind of girl. Sharp edges just don't entertain me. So I'm just following along in circles because, or curves, because obviously I'm a lady with curves and it just really appeals to me. I can't really explain why, but it just makes me feel very comfortable and homey. You know, like I'm receiving a big hug, and I love hugs. I'm a very affectionate person and touchy-feely person. So as I paint this, I just feel like, you know, I'm being embraced, you know? So that's why I'm going around in circles. It does look like a flower. It does. Okay. Now I'm going in the color that was called Champagne. And it's a very muted color, but it's beautiful. And I'm just going to try and fill in the white as much as I possibly can without disturbing too much of the other colors. I don't know if you can see the sheen in this particular color, but it is very, very pretty. And you know what I noticed? I picked up a little bit of the burgundy at some point. I picked some of that up with this color, and right in this area you can kind of see it, and it is gorgeous. It is actually gorgeous. I might end up mixing up those colors. So I've gone in with a lot of the colors. I haven't used the pearl white yet. That's what I'll be using next. But I just kind of wanted to explain some of the importance of the colors that I'm choosing to use while I go in with the pearl white. I've already discussed the pink, and I've already discussed the cranberry. The gold and the taupe, the gold would obviously signify those rings that we will be placing on each other, which, you know, I kind of gave reference to that in the fact that, you know, I spoke about jewelry. But the white just signifies the purity of the feeling of love, obviously, that I have for Paul. And I definitely wanted to bring that into this particular canvas. And I know some of you might be thinking, well, you can't even see the white. Well, that might be true, but it has a pearlescence. So if you were sitting here next to me, you would see the shine that is within this particular pearl white that I'm using. But it's a gorgeous color. And you know, winter white, that's a color that my mother told me from a young age that I look good in certain colors. And she's like, she's never seen, and I was a child, a teenager when she told me this, I've never seen a woman, and you're a young lady, but I've never seen a woman look better in winter white. You're absolutely, it's your color, you're absolutely beautiful. Although you better be a virgin when you get married. And she was speaking of obviously my first marriage. She says, I would never see you in a bright white wedding gown because that's not your color. Winter white is your color. And so this particular pearl white is just about that color. It's not as bright and pristine as a bright white, but it's not an ivory. And some people would definitely mistake it for that, but my mother was very particular, and she knew her colors. And she knew her fashion. Or I should say she knows. She's still alive. She knows her colors. She knows her fashion. And she loved me in red and in winter white, which was kind of unheard of because, you know, growing up with a father from Louisiana, he didn't like to see us in red. That just was not an appropriate color for any of his girls. But, you know, we had a few red items like sweaters, you know, because my mother loved to see us in, oh, what was the style of coat? It was like a little cape. And she would make sure that she had us, including the grandkids too, they had it. My daughter had a beautiful Rothschild winter coat with the plaid that was red on the outside with the hood. Just beautiful, and lots of bows. My mother really loved fashion. She still does. But anyway, that's why I picked winter white. Because it's a color that looks good on me, and it's a color that my mother says that I should wear on my wedding day. And so this being my actual wedding, because I didn't have a wedding the first time around, I just went to the Justice of the Peace, and this time I actually get to have my wedding with my boo bear. So I will be wearing winter white because Mom knows best. I cannot wait to show you guys the lace that I purchased to go on the dress, so you can see what I'm talking about as far as the winter white color. It's gorgeous. So I'm just gonna finish painting this, and when I come back, I'll show you how it looks the best way I can with this little bitty fine detailer brush. Hope I don't mess it up. And it is signed. So here is my beautiful work of art, which as you look at it, baby girl says it looks like a flower, and I would have to agree that it does. which is what is so wonderful about doing an abstract painting, because I started off with just a feeling, and I knew I wanted to start with the cranberry color. I knew I wanted something that was round, that would make me feel comfortable, you know, and connected, and to have it turn out to look somewhat like a flower, which it really does. It looks like a tight rosebud of beautiful colors, and they happen to be my wedding colors. I couldn't be more pleased. I really couldn't be more pleased. I'm ecstatic. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this paint with me type of session, which was a collab with or a collab that was started by Sharon. She's so fabulous, and there's a lot of YouTubers that are going to be doing this collaboration, so we want to thank her for that, thinking of that idea and opening it up to everyone. Please go and see all of the people who are participating in this collaboration. You never know what you're going to find on their channels, but look at their art. Pretend like you're going to have a gallery, an art gallery day, and you're going to jump from YouTuber to YouTuber looking at their art as if it is in an art gallery, because that's really the thought behind it. That's the idea behind it that Sharon wanted, and I just want to help promote that, because this was an absolute wonderful idea for her to come up with and just open it up to everybody. No one was discriminated against, and so I want to give her a big thumbs up and kudos for that. So on that note, I want you all to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you see when you look at this picture. Also, let me know, how does it make you feel? I'd love to have conversation about this particular piece. And on that note, have an absolutely wonderful evening. Bye. Here is where I have my art displayed. I'm going to be changing the location, but once I get our bedroom situated, which will be after the wedding, I'll be decorating. But right now I have it in the room where I do all of my DIY crafts. So when you open the very front door, you actually get to see this piece, and I'm very, very proud of it.